All right, y'all. Got a triple threat here. David Britton, Kevin Williams, and my man David Kane. David Kane, all in one, man. On Real Talk with Nick, man. I don't even know where to begin. I'm overwhelmed, man. I never thought I'd be in this position where I could just have so much basketball knowledge in front of me, man. I want to thank you, brothers, for taking the time to meet up with me, man. I really appreciate that, man. Oh, man. Where can we start, man? Mr. Britton.
Let's start where we left off. Okay. And before my boy was telling you about how the basketball back in when he played used to go in to the big man and then go out. So we're going to start from there. That's how I feel.
And before I exactly talk to you about that point, right here, what you have really is three different generations, and we're in a 4-block ratio of growing up, radius of growing up. David's from 117th Street. I'm from 116th Street. Kev, 112. 115. So you have three pros in one area, in a small 3-block radius, and things like that. And it's 3 different time zones. One of the things that we talked about, what we ended off on, was the game coming from the inside to the outside. Everybody here knew how to make a pass inside to the big man and knew how to move without the ball. These are fundamentals that lost art, man. It's hard to get somebody to know how to feed the post and whatnot.
Ain't no post.
That too. Kevin was a prolific scorer. Dave was a general on the basketball court as far as running the team, right? And everybody knew how to play defense, and everybody knew how to win.
You wasn't that bad yourself, man, okay? So let's speak. Okay, I seen you out here kill a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
So.
I could score.
Yeah, and handle the ball, too. And you was big. You could pass, too. So, it's like when you go to the NBA, Dave, and they tell you to do something that's, you could do it. But that's not what you do. You a fucking playmaker, scorer. You're going to say, okay, guard a nigga 92 feet.
6'9".
Why do you think the game changed so drastically, man?
Because it's entertainment now.
Yeah, that's pretty much, it's just a business now. So like when I was coming through in the 90s, and they was having those playoff series, 80s, 84, 79, and you had scores in the 80s and 70s that wasn't appealing to the fan. Like, see, the NBA, they don't really care about the game per se. They just care about if the fans is happy. So if fans want to see more scoring, we'll change the rules so we get more scoring. So now you got no hand checking. Now you start getting away from that inside big man inside, so now it's a spaced out game, free flowing, up and down. Our generation don't think it's good basketball, but the casual fan probably enjoys it because they just see a lot of scoring. But we come from scoring without no resistance. It's not impressive to us.
Play defense.
So I think that's the biggest difference.
No, they don't play defense. I remember I seen an All-Star game. I think it was maybe 5 days ago. Where they had like 100.
Can you talk up, Kev, please?
They had 180.
Yeah, they're never gonna play no D in the All-Star.
I think it was almost like Kevin Mackey always had this vision of scoring 200 points, and that was the closest game. And you know what? Nobody played defense. It was like a circus act. Everybody was shooting. Steph had about 10 threes. I mean, it was a ridiculous. In an All-Star game, you don't know, you retrograded it by not being a competitive event. All-Star games is the East against the West, man. Regardless, man, you gotta play, man.
Hard.
No defense, man. Yo, when we used to watch Dave DeBusschere, Julius Erving, and them, the ABA, NBA All-Star game, dude, that was a battle, man. And it was an All-Star game. You used to see Julius Erving dunk on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, man, in All-Star game. You don't see this crap like you're seeing now. And that's all I'm saying. The level of how should I say it, activity on the defensive end is lacking now. And that takes away from the excitement of the game.
And even with the NBA, you're talking about the NBA not playing defense. Defense is applied. I'm just going to take it right to the streets real quick. If I'm going to play against Kevin, and I know Kevin is a prolific scorer, and we right out here, we in front of all our people, I don't want him to score 2. We used to say, I'm going to hold him to a donut, and I'm going to score 30. That's the way you looked at defense. If a man scored 2 points on him, you mad, you embarrassed, and everything, so you're going to go hard at him. So every game, even one-on-one out here, you had to play hard. It wasn't you score, it's all right. Everybody who had basketball in their mind growing up here in New York City. It was a prideful thing, and you didn't want nobody to bust your butt. Yo, I had 25. He had 25 too. Then you ain't do nothing. It's a wash.
Could it be that it's all about the pay, the money?
Well, it's entertainment. I think that's part of it too.
It's about ratings.
And I think the shift in the thinking, I think of players now is winning over competition.
Exactly.
Like when I argue with guys, they say, "Well, it don't matter. The only agenda is to win, right?" And I'm like, "Nah. For me, sports is competition. I'd rather lose a nail biter than win by 30. That's me. Because I want the competition. It's more than win, and that's how I coach. I don't want to blow everybody up by 20, 30 and just say we won. I want the game with the competition. And if I lose, I'll lose. We win, we win. But for me, everything, that's like we go to the park right now in our prime, and there's 10 of us out here, and I say, well, me, Dave, and Kev on the same team. They're going to say no. No. Even if they say yeah, but and then we mop the floor all day. But no, if we hold the court all day, do I really walk after with my chest out like we did something? We should have did that.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
So
yeah, that Dave, that's what I'm talking about Randall. He just want to epitomize what I'm saying. If we was 3 to play, we supposed to wreck it. Yo, man, you were supposed to do what they paying you to do.
Not only that, Kev,
You know,
if we 3 on the floor, we gotta adhere to each other's game because we're gonna stay on the floor all day. So post up this time, you post up, I'm gonna go on the side.
Just
check him.
put the ball in David Kane's hand and just go do what you gotta do because he's gonna make sure you get the ball.
Yeah.
Just get open. If you got somebody like David Kane handling the ball, you got 2 scorers like me and Dave, shit, let Dave work because he's going to get where he got to go. And you set your man up and you get the ball and score. Once the rhythm is in effect, it's over, niggas.
So that's you think is the Knicks organization problem as far as how they?
Well, it's players. Players are not like they're not in tune to the game. The game has changed so much. The players nowadays will say they're competitive, but it's not as hard. You can't do this. You can't. Remember when we play, you can grab the dude by the waist and hold him.
Pushing niggas.
Yeah, you can get.
I was telling them
early.
Way more skill back then than you have now.
Yeah,
all you got to do is just dribble and shoot.
Put it this way: I'm up at the Knicks camp when Dave is at the Knicks camp, and Patrick Ewing is on this side. They would put them on almost opposite. Whether he played with Patrick, they won, or whether he played against Patrick, they won. The Knicks was talking about they needed a point guard that could pass, and Pat Riley's argument was, well, he's not a great offensive player. He's not a great shooter. So Dick McGuire, God bless the dead, said, I don't care what he is. I know every time he gets the ball, he wins. So I'm sitting up here watching that. They had Greg Anthony, couldn't shoot.
Right.
You my man, but you wasn't no shooter. Yeah, and you couldn't pass like that.
And he did
D. Harper, you my man.
But
no, before Doc Rivers was there. D. Harper came after Doc got hurt. Okay, so that's something. But my whole thing was the movement. They wasn't passes. Yeah. They wasn't passes, and you gotta have a passer to run a game. Any team that you play on, if you don't have a passer to run a team, it's disarray.
Well, okay, so
and they like them.
You talk about passes, right? People who can assist and make other players better.
Yes.
We had Mark Jackson, man.
He was a great passer.
Yeah.
Mark wasn't no great shooter.
They was winning, but they wasn't like championship contender. But I believe they was a winning team when Mark was there. They was winning when Mark was there, right? Mark rookie of the year.
Well, he seemed like a great shooter when he went to the Indiana Pacers, man.
He never was a great shooter. He can knock down some. Mark is good. Like we ain't no shade on Mark. He wasn't a great shooter.
He wasn't no great scorer like that.
They didn't have a great team around him and Ewing either. So they wasn't championship contenders. But Mark did what he was supposed to do. He put his work in. Yeah. I think when we talk about that 93 team, they were the championship contenders. If they had Mark Jackson on that team, they win the championship.
Yeah.
That's fact.
Let me tell you something, man. Mark took the Indiana Pacers to the championship. I mean, like, yo, he took different teams to the championship. So you got to know if a player is that capable, that he's a great point guard. And then let me tell you something. Mark is number 2 in assists behind motherfucking Magic Johnson.
No, Stockton.
Yeah, Stockton.
Stockton, right?
Yeah, he's number 2.
And think about this, right? See, the art of running a team is lost a lot of times. And people don't know how important that is. Everybody judge the game by, he's not scoring 20. Well, I told you before, there's maybe 25 players that might average 20 in the NBA. So what happened to the other 425? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's by design too, Dave.
But I'm saying, if you take 25.
Yeah, but it's a whole lot of great players like me. Them motherfuckers would let. If you ever look at Game 2 in that Laker game,
Go ahead.
if they would have let me fucking play, I would have hit 20 on that. I was
Okay, but then-
determined. This nigga yo-yo. And let me tell you a story about this motherfucker. 'Cause I'm gonna get this shit off. Motherfucker, you burnt toast ass coach. And you
This
know
what I
that-
love, man.
Yeah, man.
Cause
I'm
listen,
gonna talk about
listen.
this motherfucker. No, I gotta say this.
Go ahead, finish.
And then I'm gonna be quiet.
no,
This burnt toast ass coach. I'm not gonna say his name.
I need his name, Cam. We're going to go this far.
Motherfucker, he wears his children's clothes. Listen, you say that. This motherfucker, listen, my son was born. And you know, Pete Newell's son Tom, this motherfucker had the Snoopy hairdo. He's got hair on the side of his head and he's bald at the top at 30. This nigga kept making fun of my son's name. You know, my son's name is
Disrespectful.
Khalid. I'm called Caleb. So I got upset. I said, listen, man, if you don't say my son's name, don't say my son's name at all. And Burnt Toast saw how angry I was, and he sat me down at an airport restaurant and had pork, like bacon and eggs and all this in front of me, and told me, sit down here, Kevin, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you this story. This is a story about Walt Hazzard. Walt Hazzard was a great guard that came out of UCLA back in the 60s. And he embraced Islam and became a Muslim. And his name was Abdul Rahman. Let me tell you what this burnt toast coach told me trying to be funny. I still don't think it's funny, motherfucker. He said, when Abdul Rahman wanted to get his job at UCLA, he had to change back to his original American name. You understand? And Bernie thought that was like, in order for you to make it, Kevin, you better know that.
Want you to conform, huh?
And he didn't know that I am a real Muslim. I will give my life for my religion. Like Muhammad Ali gave up his career, I'll do the same. I'm not Walt Hazzard, burnt toast. And don't ever put my religion to the test, because that's why I don't like your ass. You understand? I don't like you, man, because of that. You understand? And that's the truth.
anything
So take
you want
your burnt toast ass, and take your children's clothes off, and take them fucking, what you call them motherfucking busted brown buckle up fucking shoes you used to wear, because you look like a fucking clown when you used to be telling us how to dress, motherfucker. Stupid ass motherfucker.
And what if we taking the meaning out of it, right? As soon as he said he disrespected his son, that's you not. What does that have to do with basketball? You tell the story so he can calm down. He's supposed to be hot. If you're going to mention a man's son name, learn how to say it. Come to Kevin and say, Kevin, am I pronouncing this right?
No, they were being sarcastic,
Right.
disrespectful.
So what you expect him to do? If you a father, what you going to do? Say it's okay?
I'm being
For some in the
sarcastically
NBA?
disrespectful.
No,
Now,
no.
fuck you,
Right.
burnt toast.
No. And that's why I'm saying about
That's how it
this
is.
channel, right?
And
I'm
it'll
glad
be
you
that
said
way till
that.
on site, motherfucker.
Oh,
I don't give a fuck about you, man. And I don't care what you did, because you ain't shit. You never won nothing. And you was a fucking Clorox drinking ass house nigga for them fucking owners, man. And that's what they used to do to us, Nick. When we ran for our freedom because of the mistreatment that we got.
right.
Sorry about that. You know, they got a slave that was hungry on the outskirts. Fed him so that he can get us, because they can't, when we see them coming, we ran and hide, so they get a friendly Negro to get him in and then bring him in. And guess what they did to that nigga who they fed? They brought him and sold his ass too, because he didn't have no manumission paper. That was
Okay.
the reason why. And if you had them, this is, when you look at how they did us, man, we had to walk around with papers to say we was free in a country that you supposed to be free in. Man, fuck you, man.
So think about it, right? Once again, the other day I said that people are taking it out of context and things.
I wouldn't give a
right?
fuck.
But my whole thing is, look at the history he just told us in this short period of time, right? These little short periods of education that Kevin has given to us twice, right? That's what we should be looking up. That's what people watching this show should be looking at, these kids and everything like that, saying, hey, let's take the content of this, what he's saying that's important. Don't worry about his anger or anything like that, or what he don't like.
Truth don't
Let's
got no
take the
filter,
truth and let's use that as a learning experience. Don't worry about how he's saying it or whatever.
And this is not Mr. Rogers'
right.
neighborhood.
This is not Mr. Definitely, we in
Fucking
Harlem
hood.
right now. Right in Harlem. Nickel Kingdom right behind
You want
us.
it to be, you
Right.
want me to
Right.
sound like Mr. Rogers, you're tuning into the wrong
Yeah,
channel.
Mr. Rogers dead.
Sure is, man. That train ain't going around.
Right?
No,
Look, we have enough support. We're gonna have so much support. No matter whatever we do, we're gonna be all right. People are gonna look at this no matter what. This is gonna be going all around. This can go around the world because of social media.
right,
So what he's kicking is knowledge and truth.
right.
No matter how he said it, they say stuff all kind of crazy ways.
No. Nick said something to this practically proctologist idiot that was saying that, oh, it's okay if you're a minority to be racist. What the hell is it? You know, after all the racism that us as a minority has experienced, how the fuck can you white people call us racist? This is a reaction to your evil shit, man. What the fuck you think? I'm supposed to say, okay, you smack me in my face, I'm supposed to turn my other cheek, you rob me, I'm supposed to offer, man, I'm gonna fucking put you down. You understand?
Dick Gregory came to my school.
Dick Gregory?
Dick Gregory came to my school and told...
What school was this?
Texas A&M.
Okay.
And he told the crowd, he said, black people cannot be racist. So you hear, oh? He said, how? We never enslaved people. We never beat people. We never robbed people of their religion.
We never even legislated laws to keep us down.
Anything.
You know, these
we haven't
motherfuckers
done anything.
legislated a 2/3 of a man law. We only worth 60% of a human being. These motherfuckers did this.
He just finished saying,
come on, man. That's in the Constitution.
Yes.
We are reacting to the way people treat us. If those people, if we treated them like that, if we treat them as black people treated them the way they treated us, then they can call us racist.
Man, they be wiping us out, man.
Right.
Let me tell you something. Have you seen what they did to George Floyd?
Yeah.
That man murdered him right on tape, right in videotape. This fucking president, you know, like the way they did it. I mean, Minnesota almost burned down. You understand? Because of this police shit, you know, and the way they treat us. This is the same slavery type mentality, how they used to grab us and round us up. So they killed us, man. We protested. You see how those motherfucking National Guards and all them motherfuckers are standing ready to kill us, man, because we protested evil treatment of us? But we can go, white people can go wreck a Capitol and shit all over the place and pee in the Capitol, our fucking hollow hole. Tear it up. And guess what the president say? We love you and go home in peace.
Now, 3 different generations here, like you said, David. Yeah. Have you ever experienced racism while playing the game?
While playing?
Have you ever felt the tension that you felt?
I don't think, no, I have to say no to that. But, no, I think I would have to say no to that, to be honest with you. I mean, you can kind of mix politics, like the politics of the game. Could it have a racial component? You know, could be, but for me to sit here and factually say it was that, I can't do that. Was a racial epithet ever shouted out at you? No.
It was at me. Okay. It was in Georgetown. Motherfuckers told me to go back to Africa. And the nigga in the post, big Frankenstein looking cracker, he wrote in the post for me to go back.
But I'm not foolish enough to think
you could fucking go see it in the Daily.
I just didn't experience it personally.
I did it
at St.
You just didn't experience it
personally.
No, you don't listen. If you liked by them motherfuckers, they ain't gonna show you that. I wasn't liked by them. You know, I'm not kissing Luke Honeycutt's ring. Fuck him.
I wasn't liked by him either, but I wasn't around him neither.
Listen, that motherfucker sat us down on the bench for 3 years.
They got 6 years. They got 6 years of their career taken away from them.
They got 6 years taken.
Yeah. And you don't even know. Listen, he was a great point guard. Could you imagine if he would have played 4 years?
Time out.
Yeah.
Time out. Wait. I wanted both of them to go to different schools. I'm following them. I'm like, they can go to any of these schools out, and I understand the decisions they made, but from a basketball perspective, I said these dudes can go pro.
Man, we just wanted to play home, Dave.
Yeah, I understand. I said I understand. But what I'm saying, if I know, I'm looking at schools. I said, oh, he's gonna start here. He's gonna start here. That's the way I was cheering for him. I wasn't thinking about no St. John. I'm thinking about where they gonna let him play and shine. Now, it turned out cool for both of them as far as their life is concerned. And whatnot. It could have been bigger, but who the heck knows?
Man, Louis was bad mouthing me to them NBA executives at the fucking door.
I got the same treatment. Okay, and also, the racism.
You smile at me when I come around y'all, motherfucker. That's what I don't like.
I was down in Texas. My first game at Baylor, we played against Vinnie Johnson and them. I'm being received Texas, Arkansas, and Texas Tech. My daughter attends now, right? I heard all kind of epithets.
In Texas?
in Texas. This in the 70s,
I was
the
playing
late
with the Spurs.
70s.
I forgot this motherfucker. He was
In
a
San Antonio.
Now, I want to switch it up a little, man. I know we've been talking about politics and whatnot and all that. I'm going to get more in depth with the basketball side of things, right? Starting with you, David King. Who was the most challenging player you ever had to play against?
I would say from our era,
Yeah.
like Kenny Anderson was the best of our era. We come from an era with a lot of good guards, like you said, God bless Dave Edwards and me and my boy Red Autry, who's from this building right here. Khalid, Derek Phelps, even little A-Train.
Bunch
You
of
take it to the streets, Master Rob, Future, you know, so it's
Master Rob.
New York is, you just see that.
Speaking of Master Rob, I got his number, man. I got to call you up, Master Rob,
Yeah,
and get
that's
this
my-
interview going,
That's
man.
my guy there. We just hung out recently, celebrated his birthday with him.
Happy
So,
birthday,
all
belated
love to the
birthday.
big bro, all love to the big
respect
bro
the
right
Master
there.
Rob.
But as you just see, we just had the doc with the point guards.
Right.
And those was just the dudes who pretty much touched the league. I believe most of them. But I would think you could probably do a doc 3 to 5 times that length of guys who was awesome who didn't make it.
Yep.
That's how much talent was floating through here. So, but KA, he was definitely the best of our era to me. And God bless Dave Edwards would roll over right now if he hear me say this, because he don't believe nobody better than him. He hated if I say anybody better than him, but
Yeah. Yeah.
KA was definitely different, man.
Kenny Anderson was
shout
that dude, man.
Yeah, shout out to him for that work
Kenny
he's doing
Anderson
down
was
there at
that dude,
Fisk, man.
Okay, and the same
Yeah,
question
man.
for you, Willpower, man. Who was the
And I
most
played
challenging?
with the greatest guard, but the most hardest guard I have.
I know you said that Pat E dunked on you. Come on, man. Get my nick. Come on, get my nick.
Out with
Huh?
Ricky Pierce. It was a few and
Ooh.
Curtis Red. Too. I had problems with guys that size. 6'6", 220, 6'6", 210. I had problems with dudes like that because they could post me up. And Kurt and Rick had the purest turnaround
Strong,
jumper.
man,
They
can
would
shoot,
back me down and then jump and turn on me. They were big and you couldn't do that with them. I seen Ricky Pierce school World Be Free, man.
Heck yeah.
And he was a great
World Be-
basketball player, man. Ricky Pierce was probably one of the most greatest underrated two guards I ever
one of
played
the most
against.
underrated cats.
I'm talking about he was a hard guard, man.
So, and I played against the guy. He was in my conference, Ricky Pierce. I used to tease the guy who was the defensive player of the year on my team in the conference. I said, Ren, before we get to Houston, do you want some help? I said, I'm telling you right now, I'm getting ready to go to sleep. Dude, tell me if you want some help tonight, or else Rick gonna go crazy. So when I found out against somebody like Ricky Pierce, I said, shit, I'm gonna outscore him. That's the only way I could do it, to outscore him.
Was he the most challenging player for you?
No, Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson?
Yes, Magic Johnson was 6'9". He wasn't fancy with the ball like this, but he could pass. Once he put his arm out, his arms would stick to, you know how strong he is, right? And he put that ball back here. You can't, he can just push you down the court. There's nothing you can do. You can hand check him and everything like that. And he can swing that ball, and he can see over everything. And people,
And he's fast.
and he way faster than what people think he is, and he's long, right? And the thing about it, he was so smart. Like, imagine all that talent, and he's so smart. So when you think something is going on, he knew who to pass the ball to. His whole game, like, I admired him. Like, I was like, wow, this dude. Ever since, like, in high school, I was like, damn, this dude is fantastic. He was like Magic. Yeah, Magic was just unbelievable. That's the dude I would put above everybody. I was like, damn, look at this dude right here. 6'9", playing point.
Even over Isaiah?
Over Isaiah.
Yeah.
I said everybody.
Yeah.
Isaiah was a bad boy, but
But
man,
he wasn't Magic.
6'9",
They
he can look over you.
They different type of players, too.
Yeah, they're totally different type of player.
But I like Isaiah.
Isaiah was a bad. Unbelievable. Zeke was a killer. Heck yeah. Plus he can handle.
Okay. Now, all three of y'all would agree on one thing, right? Y'all say that defense wins games, right?
Yes, sir.
But in today's game, y'all will all agree and say that that's what the game's missing.
Right now, the guy that can score the most, the team that scores the most is the team that wins. And we shoot three, so
I think in this era, the defense is minimized compared to the past. Because right now, you can have the best defensive player in the league. You can have the best defensive player in the league on your team, and you can just run enough schemes where he's not even a factor in the game. Because all everybody gonna do now is keep running whatever sets or pick and roll so you get the switch you want, and then you attack the defender you want. So you the best defender on your team in the league, and you guarding me. All I'm gonna do is say, yo, come set it. And then as soon as I come this way, you gone.
And guess what?
Because everybody just
Once
switch
you
nowadays.
cause the mismatch, guess what? You're the one that's going to get ticket because your ass got a big man on it.
Yeah.
And all he got to do is dribble wide, wait for that nigga to take your little ass there, and throw it right to him. And guess what?
Or the guard end up with the mismatch like Curry was with Hawks.
And
But Marcus Smart was Defensive Player of the Year. Did he have any defensive impact on that series?
None.
That's the point.
No.
Curry never got to go against Smart because all they're going to do is set a pick and roll.
On.
And what we do in the NBA now, we switch everything. So what's good as a great defender if he never going to be on the great players?
And let me tell you something.
Damn.
You can't. If you don't switch that pick with Steph, your ass getting shot down.
Common sense is you should have been trapped.
Yeah. Or get him. Make
Trap
sure,
him.
no.
So
Yeah, get the
I'm getting
ball,
the
out
ball
of
out of
his
his hand.
hand. And deny that nigga the ball. That's how you got to play that nigga.
Right. So that's the difference. Why I don't even. It might be 80-20 offense to defense now, to be honest with you, because you can nullify a great defender just by the way that the game is right now. Take the big man out the middle.
Set a screen on it.
That's it. It's a simple screen.
Repeat that again. Take the what out the middle?
Take the big man out the middle.
They been did that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how easy the game is.
You know, and now they got the big man shooting threes.
Now, speaking of New York basketball, right? I would like to think Patrick Ewing started that as far as big man shooting.
He wasn't shooting threes.
Willis Reed and all of them was shooting. You said you're a Knicks guy. Willis Reed was shooting.
Reed shot a three.
But Ewing wasn't shooting jump, turnarounds, face ups, 15, 17. Yeah, but even then, Elijah was hitting that. Robinson was hitting that. Rick Smits was hitting that. Doherty was hitting that. So all of Lane Beal was the only one shooting from three that was a center. Right. So the stretch five was really nothing new. It's just that we had a good balance on it. Like now you probably got two bigs who can post up, which is ridiculous. Because I'm like, what are all the other 7-footers working on? Because they can't shoot or post up. Yeah. So I don't care which one you do, just be effective. But
you can't. You have taken the designated position of the center and you've relegated it to a guard position. That's crazy. Now you got guards posting up like.
Let me ask you a question, D and Kev. Do you think the game is relegated to that? Relegated those centers to that position, or they just not good or they just ain't got no goddamn game to play in the paint?
What has happened, right, Dave, is that the guards have now become unlimited range shooters.
Yeah.
And now it's not predicated on what Dave said. Go in.
What I'm saying is, even when I say let's play inside out right now in the league, how many guys can we play inside out with? They don't know how to do that.
They don't know how to do that.
They don't know how to play it with their back to the basket.
But why not? That's what I'm not understanding.
Like if Shaq was in the league right now, he'd be averaging 40. Yeah, because he can play. Yeah, so I don't think it's
change the rules back.
Yeah, so I don't think it's the problem. Like we not giving it to the motherfuckers on the block. So to speak, it's like who's worthy of getting it on the block?
If you go to high schools now, they're not posting the kids up. They're not posting them up. They're not posting them up at all. So the game is just changing.
Go ahead.
The game is changing because they don't teach the kids in high school how to play. If we talked about all-star games and all that, everybody want to shoot threes. Even if they can't shoot, they promote shooting threes. I was at John Lucas' camp. He says, well, we want to shoot threes. I said, well, if you got three-point shooters, that's smart. But if you don't have three-point shooters that can shoot, it's not smart. I don't care how many you shoot. If you can't shoot, you can't shoot. Everybody can shoot.
And the three never gonna be a better shot than a layup.
And also,
I don't care how good you shoot.
What they did.
Oh, that's a powerful statement, man.
And remember that. How you gonna turn that? The layup is the easiest shot in the game.
Yeah.
Right? You ever see? That's a Harlem dog. Damn! Look at that dog.
Dog want to fight.
And y'all not on camera. These dogs is this big right here.
This big with a bunch of dogs.
Get ready to get it on. Let's get ready to rumble.
So think about it, right? You got you got them. That was a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely don't need to be on.
I'm not even gonna attempt, man. I like living indoors, bro. There you go.
What we said once again, when you have one of the points I was gonna make, we talked about defense. Well, to bring the European players in here also, that was the big change. You had to lighten up on the defense. You had to make it easier, make a jump shot affordable. Dirk Nowitzki struggled when he came in. Right. Dirk Nowitzki was struggling when he first got in because they was beating his butt. Right? And if you wasn't no tough dude, you can't take that pressure in the NBA. So they changed it up, lightened the rules up. Like we were talking about yesterday, dudes fighting.
Illegal defense.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then
Gonna do that.
look, how about this? You get a technical foul for bouncing the ball or making a gesture. You can't. It's so many stupid rules that keep you like confined in a small space and people are not. Fans are not really like if you go to Madison Square Garden, these are knowledgeable fans.
Right.
Like knowledgeable fans appreciate good basketball. That's like if somebody coming here and putting on a performance, they're gonna start cheering for them. Or you're gonna hear the woo, oh, you're gonna hear those sound effects that they know somebody, Trae Young came in here and put a number on.
I'm glad you mentioned
he
that.
thinks Jalen Brunson.
He did what?
You think Jalen Brunson could beat Trae? This is
Well, Trae Young can't check Jalen Brunson.
and he can't check him.
Heck no, nobody can check him. When he
I
on.
think my man could shoot better than him. Trae Young shoots better.
When we talk about Jalen Brunson, how about this? I watched Jalen Brunson. He had moved out to Chicago Fire. He was with Chicago Fire. And he was playing with, who was the number one, Okafor. And the other kid that went to Kansas.
You talking about his father, Rich?
No, I'm talking about Jalen.
He's playing high school.
Yeah, we played against him.
Oh,
I
yeah,
had
high
Miles
school,
Turner, Emmanuel Moody. I had
Yeah.
these guys, right? We played against these guys.
Because I told
And
you he lived
Me
in
and the
Chicago.
coach arguing over, man, Okafor. I said, Miles and Dale cancel each other out. Jalen Brunson is murdering us. We go to the big time tournament in Las Vegas, Gary Charles event. They still talk about that game. They put Jalen Brunson on the bench for some dudes they flew in that's supposed to be pros and whatnot. We jacked Chicago Fire up. Jam-packed. Every coach in America.
So are you saying he's an underrated player?
Oh, super underrated.
Yeah.
The Knicks gonna appreciate him if they put the ball. I heard Dave speaking earlier. If they put the ball in his hand, the ball will move, but he can score too.
Oh, but once it gets around his hand, it's a wrap. I'm serious. It's
Now,
a burrito.
okay. Now, did you see the AM Pro AM game?
That they just played last
Yeah.
week. Just the highlights, and I've heard enough about it though.
Okay, now from your perspective and what you heard, looking at the highlights and what you saw, does it really matter?